Joseph Rod says, Grant, have Kyle perform a seance and get us Mr. Miyagi to get this team through our injuries. Ha ha. What did you write in the early 80s? Were the Giants having a bunch of injuries, or were they just losing a bunch? And you said they should sacrifice what?
Oh God. No. Well, you know what it was?
What?
They had a lot of born again Christians on the
Yeah.
team. And as a joke, as a satire, I said they should sacrifice one soul to the devil. And it was just a joke. But
Yeah.
uh, the born agains, Gary Lavelle and Johnny Lamaster, took it literally, and they got very angry at me. And Johnny Lamaster is one of the nicest, most wonderful athletes I've ever covered. He was a shortstop for the Giants, and Lowell, why did you say we should sacrifice someone to the devil? And I said, Johnny, it was satire, and he didn't know what satire was.
Right.
He
So
hadn't
now you're
gone to
having to
college,
explain. Yeah.
and I just felt like such a schmuck, and I had hurt his feelings. But yeah, I did do that. Yeah.
Lowell, please explain what Jerry Rice did to prepare and avoid injuries over his career.
Well, he did get hurt once very badly.
He tore his ACL in a game. You can't avoid it. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
But it's such an interesting question. I have never seen anyone work as hard as Jerry. When Steve Young became the quarterback, he was used to catching passes from Joe, who was a righty.
Yeah.
When Steve Young was a quarterback and Jerry wanted to get used to getting passes from a lefty, and he wasn't working with Steve because Steve was doing other things. One of the equipment guys, Teddy Walsh, was a very nice man who lives in Santa Rosa, is a lefty, and he would have Teddy Walsh throw him the ball, Jerry.
Mm.
And I think I've told this story before. Walsh said that he had never seen anyone dress for a game like Jerry.
Yeah.
That I'm sure Jerry wasn't aware of it. Bill would watch him before a game, and he would put everything on slowly and perfectly. His socks, his pants, his jersey, his belt. And Bill said, and the last thing, he would fold this towel and he'd put it in. And Bill said it was someone dressing for battle.
Right.
Someone dressing for battle.
And it was emblematic of his preparation.
Yes.
Now, one more thing. I think I wasn't around during this era, but it sounds like from what everyone said that his conditioning was the greatest of all time.
Yeah, he used to run that hill on the peninsula with Roger Craig. He was a super athlete who was super prepared. Yes, no question. He had pride in his ability and his performance like you can never imagine.
Also, he wasn't really super muscled up. He was 6'2", 200. I mean, he didn't have a ton of G-forces on his ligaments. He seemed like a pretty natural. I don't know, but he seemed pretty natural in his body type, and he was in great condition, and he basically played all the freaking time. So, I don't know. Good question for him. Do you think Kyle is taking the Bill Belichick approach when talking to the media?
No, I don't. Bill, I want to say this. I think Belichick is bad for the league.
Agreed.
In terms of public relations,
Agreed.
Not as a coach.
Agree.
And I think he's a very bad model. I don't think Kyle is that way. I actually think Kyle tries to answer honestly most questions, but I do think about the injuries he'll be defensive. And I think he has every reason to be. But Iggy, my impression is he's not like Belichick.
No. You ask Belichick a question, he'll pause for 15 seconds and like thinking about like, how do I answer this in the least helpful way? I don't like it. Vince Castellana says you should ask the players like Jimmy Ward about what they think of the injuries and trainings, especially others who have been on other teams.
That's
I
not going to work.
I got to get back in the locker room before that happens, and they're not going to let us in anytime soon.
If you ask that on a Zoom, it's public, and if he's at all critical of the team, he's risking a lot. He can't do it.
Hey, Jimmy, why don't you tell us how it really is with these injuries? Yeah, I got you, man.